Today we conclude our look at the theme of parent-child relationship in the CSET English Literature syllabus. This is important because remember I said we study our poems in blocks or groups. Now let's do a quick recap of some of the poems that we would have looked at in this particular theme. We would have looked at Little Boy Crying, we looked at My Parents, we looked at Dreaming Black Boy. What is important about those is that those stories were told, or those poems were told, through the eyes of a child. The writer in each poem did like a flashback technique and put themselves back into their childhood body to tell the story of the world through their young eyes. And that's important because we know that when children are young, they see things differently, and sometimes things that happen as a child is young can later impact them. So when we think of like Dreaming Black Boy, I wish my teacher's eyes wouldn't go past me today, we can understand how something like that could shape the way how that child feels about himself as he grows up. But today we are going to flip it a little bit, and our poem will be told through the eyes of the mother. We're going to be looking at The Woman Speaks to the Man Who Has Employed Her Son. It is a long title, definitely it's a long title. And we look at this woman telling the story of the trials she faced in raising her son. Those who know me well as a teacher know that as a literary teacher, can't get the words out today, but anyhow, as a literature teacher, I encourage my students to know a bit about the writer because it helps us to understand their perspective. Lorna Gibbons, like so many of our writers that we will study this school year, is a Jamaican writer. She's a Jamaican writer, and a lot of her work focuses on the experience of women raising their children. So for example, one of her greatest works was For My Mother, May I Inherit All Her Strength, May I Inherit Half Her Strength. Lorna Gibbons seems to like really long titles for her poems, now that I think about it. But what she was looking at is the sacrifices that women have to make in raising their sons, their children. So let's get ready to go through the poem, pull it up if you have it, turn to the page of it if you have it. And this poem is a little long, it is a very storytelling type of poem. Okay, let's begin. The woman speaks to the man who has employed her son. Her son was first made known to her as a sense of unease, a need to cry for little reasons, and a metallic tide rising in her mouth each morning. Such signs made her know that she was not alone in her body. She carried him full term, tight up under her heart. She carried him like the poor carry hope. Hope you get a break or a visa. Hope one child go through and remember you. He had no father. The man she made him with had more like him. He was fair-minded. He treated all his children with equal and unbiased indifference. She raised him twice, once as mother, then as father. Set no ceiling on what he could be. Doctor, earth healer, pilot, take wings. But now he tells her he is working for you. That you value him so much. You give him one whole submachine gun for him alone. He says, you are like a father to him. She is wondering what kind of father would give a son hot and exploding death when he asked him for bread. She went downtown and bought 3 1/3 yards of black cloth and a deep crowned and veiled hat for the day he draw his bloody salary. She has no power over you, and this at the level of earth. What she has are prayers and a mother's tears, and at Nee City she uses them. She says psalms for him. She reads psalms for you. She weeps for his soul. Her eye water covers you. She is throwing a partner with Judas Iscariot's mother, the thief on the left-hand side of the cross. His mother is the banker. Her draw, though, is first and last, for she's still throwing 2 hands as mother and father. She is prepared. She is done. Whoa, what a poem. This is one of my favorite poems, not because of the message of the poem, but just the intensity of the message that is being sent. And maybe because I'm the mother of a boy as well. I don't know. But let's break it down. Please feel free to pause the video, to take notes, anything like that, because I am going to really pick this poem apart right now. All right, so this poem is quite long. It has, let's see how many stanzas here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zara, can you lower that a little bit, please? Thank you. All right, let's look at the first stanza. Please follow along with me here. But if you do have a book, this the poem in front of you, this would be a great time to scribble on it. This video will be long. Let's just make it work. All right, the first stanza, it says her son was first made known to her. What is the stanza about? It is about this woman finding out that she is pregnant with her son. Okay, most women, when they find out they're pregnant, it's a happy time. You know what? In this poem, we're going to be seeing a variation of emotions. So it says her son was first made known to her, a sense of unease, a need to cry. And depending on what you know about pregnancy, you would know that some women do get very emotional when they're pregnant. It speaks about a metallic tide rising in her mouth each morning. Depending on what you know, again, morning sickness, some women do feel the urge to vomit a lot. And it says it let her know that she was not alone in her body. What a way to phrase it. She was not alone in her body. She carried him full term up under her heart. So that first stanza, the poet is emphasizing the closeness she feels to this little boy. And he's not even born yet. She just loves him. She's not alone in her body. But he's not even born yet. Okay, but let's continue to stanza 2. So scroll with me or turn with me to stanza 2. It says in stanza 2, she carried him like the poor carry hope. As if like this is all she has. My son is my everything. This little boy is everything to her. And it takes a kind of sad turn when it says he had no father. He had no father. And then it says the man she made him with had more like him. He was fair-minded with how he treated his children. We see some sarcasm being used here, because when it said that he was fair-minded, it was that he was treating all his children terribly. He was an absentee father. He had his a child here, or child here, or child here, or child here, and all of them deadbeat, right? So she realizes I have to be mother and father to this child. Going ahead to stanza 3, it says she raised him twice. She raised him twice. And so what this is showing us is the value of what she's pouring into this boy. The value of what she's pouring into her son. Because this man is absent, she is taking on the role. And it does not seem that she takes on this role with any resentment. She sacrifices for him, but it seems she's happy to sacrifice for him because it says she set no ceiling. Metaphor, people, okay? Technique, metaphor. She set no ceiling on what he could be. You know, some people say the sky is the limit. So in her mind, I'm going to provide all of this for you, son, even if I have to do it all on my own, because you deserve all of this. You have the ability to take on the world. But then in the next, as we get close to the end of that, we see he tells her he is working for you. The average parent, when their older children gets a job, the parents are happy. But then she realizes, what's this job that you have, son? Why is your employer giving you a submachine gun? I thought you would be a pilot. I thought you'd be an earth healer. I thought you'd be this and that. But what you doing with a gun, son? So you understand how her heart drops after all the work she pours into this boy. In the following stanza, we see the you. He says, you are like a father to him. So we see this you all the time. And what she is saying is that she is shocked by what her son is doing. And she realizes that whatever criminal or dark activities he has found himself in will not end well for him. It will not end well for him. We can see some illusion. Let's put on one of Technique's hat. That literary device is heavy in here right now, right? Because it says she went to buy black cloth, 3-on-1, 30 yards of black cloth. I love the specificity of the amount of black cloth that she buys. Like, let me get this dress right. What does black signify in Caribbean culture and across cultures around the world? Death. It signifies death. So what she is saying is, I recognize that this boy, if he continues on this road that he is on, he will die. It's not if. It's not a might that he again dead. Really, that's what she is saying. That's what she is saying. Like, let me just go get my dress ready. Let me just put my dress in my closet because this is not going to end well, right? And she bought the hat, a veiled hat. And if you know a veiled hat is the one that like got the thing that comes over the eye, right? It continues, and now we see the introduction of religion. She says prayers for him. We see the metaphor or the necessity. What does necessity mean? She's spending all her time on her knees praying over this boy. Okay? She's saying Psalms, so that it says that she weeps for his soul. Depending on what religion you are a part of, there are some religions that are Christian denominations that believe you can pray a person's way out of darkness or whatever the case may be. And it says she is praying, she is weeping for her son's soul. She wants him to be saved from what she is doing, from what he is doing. Then we see the biblical references that she is comparing herself to Judas Iscariot's mother. I'm going to have to do some research on that. But at the end of the poem, oh my gosh, it is dark. It says she is prepared, she is done. What is important? And people just love this poem. Just the layout of it is important. Because when it gets to the she is done, full stop. Absalom, full stop. It gives you that sense of finality. It lets you know that this woman has prepared herself for her son to be taken away. And as a single mother who has poured into her son for all of these years, for her to come to that realization has to be huge. It has to be daunting. All right, I'm going to stop there. Oh gosh, this video is so loud. But anyhow, let's get ready to do some writing. All right.